What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV. We have Millie Chun
Hey
TV here,
y'all.
and we have Jay Evans up in here, you guys. Right?
What's
Hello.
up?
And I just felt like that was the perfect title, the Mississippi Collective, since we are all from Mississippi,
I
and
love it. I love it.
we all from Mississippi. We all have a interest in this show because it's in Mississippi, and I'm from. Okay, so I think it would be more fitting if we all told where we were from in Mississippi. So I'm gonna start it off by saying I'm from Canton, Mississippi, which I like to call the hood. I'm from Canton, Mississippi. Where you from, Billy?
I am from Grenada, Mississippi. I'm about 108 miles north of Jackson.
And Jay?
Mm. I'm right here in Jackson, baby.
Boots on the ground. Boots
You
on the
right there.
ground. That's what
You
I'm
right.
talking about.
You right there. See, Canton Jackson like 20, 25 minutes away from each other. I'm on the north part, like 20 minutes north of Jackson. So, well, I ain't necessarily in Jackson no more. I'm in Atlanta now, but still, you know what I'm saying. But
Right
anyways,
up the street.
yeah, right up the street. But so you guys, I decided I was telling Millie Chum before Jay came up, and I'm gonna say it again while he's here. We don't see a lot of Mississippi content creators that do what we do. Like, we talk about reality TV and stuff that's going on in the blogs and shit like that, and we don't really see that many. And for a long time, I would say that. How long have you been doing it, Millie Chun?
Ooh, I'm gonna say I've been doing it for it'll be 3 years in May.
Okay.
3 years in May.
How about you, Jay?
On and off like 4 years. I just need to be consistent for 4 years.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. So this year will make 15 years for me. I've been doing it since October of 2010. So
Oh,
it makes
that's
Oh,
15.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, so for a long time, it was just me from being out of Mississippi doing it. At least from what I know, I was the only Mississippian doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I came across Millie Chun when she did her interview with JJ. That was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I found out she was from Mississippi, and people were talking about her and things like that. So I was just like, okay, let me check her out. And I was watching her, and then I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily agree with everything that she say, and I'm pretty sure she probably ain't gonna agree with me either. But that's cool. I still, I watch people all the time where I don't agree with them, but I
Mhm.
like them as a personality, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. So I
Well,
watch.
then I'm
mhm.
awesome, and I'm awesome on top of all that. Outside of that, I'm really,
Right.
yeah. So it works.
Yeah, so it really didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I was watching her, and then all of a sudden, like a couple of weeks ago, I was getting tagged in a tweet with both of them on Twitter. It was somebody constantly tagging
Mhm.
us in a tweet together. They were saying, we need our Mississippians to talk about the show. We need that. We need this. And so I knew of Millie Chun, but I did not know of Jay. I didn't know him at first. So I went and I looked at some of his stuff, and I'm like, okay, he cool. And then I
Mhm.
said, I already do a panel on Belle Collective anyway with two of my friends, but now that Belle Collective is done, why not do a wrap up about the show and do it with two people that's from Mississippi as well? So that's where the idea came from. I just thought about it at the top of my head while I was on the live, and it just came up. And I
Okay.
reached out to them soon after I was done with that live, and they both agreed to it. And the name Mississippi Collective didn't come up until I was making a thumbnail for it, and I felt like that was the
Awesome.
best name. So
Awesome.
but anyways,
I love it.
um, so we're here to talk about Belle Collective. It's
We're
the
ready.
wrap up, and we're not just gonna talk about this season. We're gonna talk about what we feel that the future of of the show would be, and all this other stuff. Now, I'm gonna start out by asking you guys, how did y'all feel about the season as a whole? Like, what would y'all rate it now that we're at the end of the road?
I would give it a B minus.
Mm,
I would
okay.
give it a B minus. Like on the very like right there where you get the B minus,
Mm-hmm.
right above a C. That's why I give it.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
I'm gonna give it a D. I felt like yes, the first season to me was not the best season, and I felt like it was too dark and it was too toxic, especially with the reunion. Nothing got resolved. And for me, season two took a step forward, but this was just like fast, quick, and I just didn't enjoy any of it, especially with the
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to me, I give it a B because I enjoyed it for the most part.
Mhm.
But I also understand why Jay feels the way that he does, because it was a lot of unresolved stuff from the previous season that came into this. And then it was more so of it didn't really flow like it normally would because we got Selena and Gucci on the same show, but they can't film together. And we got this going on and we got that going on. And
Right.
and Marie pretty much not really filming with them like that.
Mm-mm.
And she got a lot of her own personal stuff going on, so she ain't really trying to engage. So I think that this was the season where you know how it is with some
It was
shows.
disconnected. It was
Yeah,
disconnected.
it's a disconnection.
reunion.
Although I did enjoy for the most part, because I do feel like, and I'm not trying to be biased because we all from Mississippi, but I do feel like Belle Collective is one of the best reality shows that's out there right now.
I feel the same way. I feel like
Mhm.
it's the best show that he has under his kingdom reign. I feel like it's the best one.
So since you say that, because I agree with that, and I say this all the time, why is it? Why do y'all think Carlos do not put much into Bell Collective as he does LAMH? Because I do feel like Bell Collective is much better than LAMH. Go ahead.
I feel like, and I hope he gets this, I feel like Carlos has no idea about people from Mississippi.
Mm,
I think that with Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's the South, it's Alabama. You can't equate Alabama with Mississippi.
yeah.
We're totally different, right? But I don't think he does enough one on ones. I don't even know the last time he's been to Jackson. I don't think he takes enough time out to get to really know the women. Like, for instance, I'll give you this example. When he talked about Selena coming on the show, the fact that he said she was on a show called Bring It On bothered me. Because
Mhm.
I was like, now we can however you feel about Selena is how you feel about Selena, but you can't take away from her Bring It. And the fact that he didn't
Mhm.
take the time out to just really see who she was. Why do you feel like she has all these supporters? Why do you feel the ratings will be high? Why don't you know the name of the show that she was on? That bothered me, and I just feel like he's like, it's Mississippi.
Hmm.
So that's why I feel like he looks at Love and Marriage Huntsville as his meat and potatoes. I feel like anything else is like, okay. But Bell Collective is hands down his best jewel, and he doesn't even know how to treat it. That's how I feel.
That's a mouthful, and I agree with every single morsel of what you just said.
I just don't think I don't think he even takes the time out. Like, what's really going on with Marie? You know what I'm saying? You just, I mean, just like the Selena thing, I can just go back to that. He is holding on to the fact that she was on this show. People liked her. She had all these ratings. But the fact you didn't know the name of the show, you didn't even try to find out the name. Bring It On. Wasn't that Gabrielle Union was in that movie? That's a movie.
Yeah, that's a movie. That's not a show.
That's not a show. And I just don't think he took the time out. I think if he really takes the time out, he will really see that he really has something.
Okay, what about you, Jay?
I think the problem with Bell Collective not being as big as it could be is for him to be the executive producer, you got to decide, do you want to be the executive producer or do you want to be the star? Because
Mm.
he likes to make it about him. It's a reunion. I didn't want to see Carlos jumping up, ringing a bell, talking about Coochie and the King. He didn't even host the first reunion because he's not invested, and I feel like he doesn't push it because the ratings didn't automatically do what Huntsville did. So he just coasts along, and he doesn't engage in our culture here. Like, why are you hosting a reunion in Atlanta, but making it seem like it's shot in Mississippi. He has to do the work, and I feel like Carlos wants to be a star, and producers are in the background. I feel it's like Suge Knight told Puffy, the executive producer, all on the show dancing. Like you need to step to the background and promote the show and invest in it more. But I don't think that's his priority, and that's where he's falling short.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
said a mouthful as well, and I agree with it. I agree with all that because I think the very first reunion that he did was in Jackson. I think it was
It
the
was.
first one. But
Hmm.
then as time went on, he started filming them here in Atlanta. And I'm just like, no, why don't you film them in Jackson? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, first of all, people, and I'm gonna bring this up too, because we're not, like I said, we're not just gonna talk about the season, we're gonna talk about everything
Mhm,
Decibel Collective.
mhm.
So when I was talking on one of my lives talking about this show, I made a statement to say that I feel like Carlos needs to play the back more, especially with
Hmm.
everything that is coming out about him from different cast members and things like that. It's not looking too good for him as a producer. And I feel like if he wasn't so much in the front, he wouldn't have all this bad press that he gets.
Right.
And when I was saying that, and I was feeling like, and I was saying, well, he doesn't really need to host a reunion. Not to say that I want Egypt to host him again, because no, I ain't
No.
like her as a host. No.
No.
But you got people, maybe you should have people that is actually from there to host it. Like you have content creators that actually cover the show. And I know that some people may feel like, well, y'all are YouTubers and y'all really, y'all are not real
So we
media
watched.
personalities. But we watch the show and we're actually from Mississippi. And we're from that, and
Hmm.
me and Jay are actually from that area of
Mhm,
Mississippi. So we would know,
mhm.
and we would embody that. And I feel like with him, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you do your research about Jackson? Like what? And then even
Exactly.
in every reunion that he holds, he does make it about him. Like he talks about himself in third
Yeah.
person. He makes it all about him, and it becomes cringy.
Yeah, it's not fun to watch.
And not only that, when I say stuff like that, people be like, well, y'all don't say nothing about Andy when he does it. But not necessarily, because a lot of us have said that we feel like Andy should stop hosting reunions because he
But
also have a bias.
to be fair with Andy, where it's different with Carlos, Andy does focus on the season.
Mm-hmm.
He can't be. He's messy. Andy is messy, but you don't hear him talking about, well, I did this, and he may put himself in there sometimes, but it's not like that. Like it's very loud with Carlos. It's very loud with him.
I agree.
Carlos gives me Target is Andy, and Carlos is like Walmart Great Value because he reaches for a moment in every reunion to make it about him. And we're not watching for you. I don't want to know about your life. Like he really makes me want to go straight and be like, "What's up, dog? Get it together." I don't want to know about your sexuality. I don't. I want you to ask the questions and the follow up questions. That's all I want.
Oh my God.
Not the deep boy.
Okay, so I get that and I understand because somebody just said in the comments, Love and Marriage Huntsville is his flagship show. We know that.
Mhm. Mhm.
But that show is the
Not
social
good.
media stuff is better than what's on the show.
Yes.
And the thing about that show is that I mean, not Andy, damn, I'm calling him Andy. Carlos doesn't want to get rid of people that I feel like he needs to get rid of. Like he wants to keep that main six group together, but it's
Right.
not working because they don't like each other. And it's now you're forcing them to be cool with one cordial. And everybody says, well, y'all work with people that y'all don't like every day. Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to dinner with them, having forced conversations with them. That's
yeah. And
different.
New Jersey is getting a whole new. They're wiping everybody out. Teresa, Melissa, everybody. I saw that
Mm-hmm.
today. They don't have a problem with it. When New Jersey drops below 700,000 viewers, it's a problem.
Right.
They're like, we ready to redo this. and he's like, I'm just gonna fly down to Huntsville and have a conversation. That's not gonna help you.
Yeah, because we can see that it's fake and it's forced. Like these people don't like Mel. Mel don't like them damn people.
Mm-mm.
Like all this, forcing them to be cordial with one another to make the show work. When it gets to that point, it's not working. You gotta let some people go.
You got to.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what I don't really want Belle Collective to become, because with all Carlos King shows, while they may start off good, they always turn out the same damn
I
way.
know. I think that's what I'm scared about because if you run down his catalog, everything has flopped,
Mm,
and I feel like he's trying to go the distance to get to 10 because at 10 you get syndication, right?
I think so.
So
Mm.
he's trying to go the distance with all of these shows. That's why he's breaking it up from A and B to season 8, 9. And I feel like when he gets like Jay was saying what Bell Collective is acting on season what 5 or 4?
Five.
5.
Season 3 had 20 episodes, but he split it and called it season
Season 4.
4.
Yeah.
See,
Right.
yeah, and they just don't go the distance.
It doesn't. So okay, so when we're talking about this is what my good friend giving you the real tea says it. Season 4/5, which is this past season. Um, what would you say was, because I know we all graded it and we kind of told why we graded it what it was. So we're gonna go down the list of all the people that was on the show. And I guess I could start off with the person that did with people that I'm gonna start off with people that did the least to the people that I feel did more to carry it. We could start off with Tambra. Um, and don't get me wrong, I love me some Tambra. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that last season was probably her best season. Not the season that just ended, but last season was her best one to me because she had more to do.
Oh yeah,
Although it was at her expense, bringing up the whole incident with her ex and stuff like that. That was the most interesting she was since she been on this show. But this season we didn't really see much of her. How do y'all feel about Tamara still being around? I wonder if she got a pickup note too. By the way,
Jay, how you feel about Tambra being around?
Um, I think I think Tambra is sweet. She is a midday diva. She's the queen of protecting her peace. But I feel like this might not be for Tambra. Um, because sometimes I forgot about Tambra.
Hmm.
And when they brought in the decorator, Taisha, that kind of spiced things up. And I understand she didn't want that, but it's kind of like for you to start off last with Tambra says a lot. Like she was there, but she wasn't there. Like all I remember Tambra saying before was "Take care, baby." Like I love that moment,
I
but
have that sweatshirt.
like,
I love that sweatshirt. I should have put it on tonight. I love that. I love that sweatshirt.
nah, that was a moment. That was a
It was
moment.
good. That
yeah.
was her. That was her brightest moment.
Right.
It was the best.
I think with
Uh,
Tambra this I think with Tambra this season, I feel like just like Jay said, there were times where I forgot Tambra was on the show this season because we
Hmm.
didn't really see much of her. And maybe it's because we only had 8 episodes, so they can only focus on so much. But I
mhm.
just feel like with Tambra, it's Damon don't want to film. I don't really think he wants to. No, because ever since that Taisha shit happened, he ain't really been
Mhm.
around ever since then. So he really don't want to fuck with them like that, in my opinion. So it's just kind of like, that's everybody asking where Greedy at,
Yeah.
but Greedy don't want to film with them people. So it's just like and then they want that to be her storyline, but I feel like Tambra has a lot more to actually show than just Greedy,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I love Tambra. She is my soror, so I will always go up for Tambra. But like the way I watch TV, when it comes to a reunion, I need everybody to have something to do.
Mm-hmm.
In this reunion,
Mhm.
like when she sits on the end, you do forget about her. Because this whole season, all she did, well, these 8 episodes that we just finished watching, like she hosted everything.
Mm-hmm.
She came, she came to the barbecue at the reservoir. She went to the ice cream parlor with the baby. She hosted stuff, and that was really it. I mean, and then you have to look at her how she got on the show,
Mm-hmm.
but she wasn't even a part of the show because the show was about couples. But there was something happened, and they brought Tambra onto the show. So I understand, and it's okay if you're not a couple. That's fine, but I don't know. I agree with Jay. Like I don't know if this is where she is because I don't think Tambra gives her full out. I would have had my baby everywhere. I would be proud and ready to have a baby. I've been talking about it. She'd have been everywhere with me. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she's a new mother, so she's learning. She's learning too. So I have to give her that grace. But I agree with what somebody said in here. I would be fine with Tampa being a friend of. I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
She gives friend of energy.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay. I got you.
Zaman.
What about the mud?
No,
I
answer
just love when she say that. Zaman in the decorator. I just love when she say that.
Okay, so we said Tambra first. The next is Marie. She had a light season.
Jay, why are you laughing?
Oh my God.
Okay, I'll start and get it done. Okay, I go. I love Marie. I think Marie gives good TV.
Mm-hmm.
I think she gives great TV. But sometimes I can't really follow her whole story.
Because she has a lot going on.
I don't. Yeah, I'll say that she got a lot going on, and I just don't know which she's pulling it from.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought she. I think Marie, like you said earlier, Marie is like disconnected from the girl. She's in the collective, but she's disconnected from the collective because she has so much going on with her family, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marie just seemed like she just told me, "I'm not coming. I'm not filming today. I'm not doing that. I'll see y'all at the church when I get baptized. That I'm not doing, And I don't know. If you're gonna be a collective, be a collective. I enjoyed the scene when they were all talking. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love when they were at the house in New Orleans. I absolutely love that. You need a Marie. You know,
Not them asking me to do my Marie voice. Oh my God.
come on with it. Come on it. Come on with it. I don't think I've heard that, Scotty. Please do that for me.
Oh my
Go
God.
ahead.
Oh God. I feel like being put on the spot. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Okay, I'm gonna say what I gotta say about Marie and her voice, basically. I feel like at this particular point of this show, I do think that Marie does bring a whole lot to the show at this particular point. I think she shows a lot of her life. Like she talks about a lupus, she talks about her mama, she talk about her cousins, like she talk about every single thing that goes on in her life. So even though Marie is not my favorite person on this show, I do think that she gives a lot to this show.
Okay.
Yeah.
She gives story.
Yeah, she gives story.
So,
Yeah, she gives story. Her and her Missy Elliott finger waves give story.
Wait a minute. The hair come. If Marie don't show up, the hair shows up.
okay.
Not too much on the hair. So
Listen,
Marie,
I prefer her with the finger waves. I prefer her
I
with the finger
prefer her
waves.
with them finger waves.
I prefer it. I prefer it. Jay, what you think about Marie?
Thank you.
Her season was kind of light, but Marie Monroe, I just want to know, baby, why did you have Pastor Stallworth up there with his head like that, baby? You could have just took him to the barber shop. Why did you have your cousin on there? I could have took her to Rainbow and got her just a white and black outfit. Marie this season, I just look at Marie as entertainment because season one, I did not like Marie at all.
I
But I
know I
got the
didn't.
essence of her
Yeah, you have to grow into Marie. You
season
really do.
two.
You have to grow into her. You really do.
Yeah,
Which
I just look at her as the entertainment, but she kind of wasn't there. And I don't want Marie to have another rebirth. Like you did the rebirth party, they baptized you with the rebirth. No more rebirth, baby. Your rebirth look, we rebirth out.
But I will say Marie is consistent. I will
Yeah,
give
she
her.
is.
I will give her.
Hmm.
I will give her that descriptive word because Marie has been tearing up activities since they sat down and she had that little Bo Peep outfit on. She has been ruining dinners, lunches, conversations. I mean, and I'm not lying. Like it's like even with the group thing, she was like, Even in New Orleans, she said, Like she's consistent, but you gotta love her for that.
I agree.
Thank you.
And to be honest, I've always felt like, especially the first two seasons, because you know how these reunion goes, the seating arrangement, everybody want to know where everybody's sitting. I always
Mm.
felt like Marie should have been at the front versus Leticia, but that's just me.
Hmm.
I
Definitely.
don't know about the front, but closer to the front,
Like,
definitely.
cause I know the first two seasons she had the second seat, but I always felt like she brought more to the show than Leticia did, in my opinion.
I can
And I
agree
think
with
that
that.
I think Leticia sits at the front because she's the quote unquote nucleus. So I think that's why she sits at the front. And
Mm.
Carlos is making her the face of it all. So I'm like, okay,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I think that
Okay.
she shows more than most. Um, and another thing too about my, I just want to go back to what Jay said about Pastor Starward. They used to be my pastor a long time ago. And the thing about it is, when I saw him on my screen, I ain't been to Word and Worship in forever. I ain't been there in God knows how long. But when I saw him on that screen, I said, now the last time I saw him, he had like a little low fade. He ain't had that auntie
Hmm.
The
perm in his
blowout.
head.
The blowout.
He ain't had it in his head when I saw him the last time.
He rolled it with soft pink rollers.
Okay, like that shit is crazy. I said, okay, well, but at least they got Pastor Starworth on there. He one of the more known pastors around there anyway. So I'm like, okay, but okay. So we said Tamara, we said Marie. Who's next? Um, uh, Selena.
Okay.
Now, how y'all feel about Selena? Her performance this season and her being brought on as a main cast member.
I think Selena was a friend to the show for me. That's what it was for me.
Mm,
That's what she gave me. She is definitely connected with the girls. She definitely knows the girls. They she goes to brunches, she hosted and all that kind of stuff. Um, but it seems like when she walked in the room, I mean, because I think with the no contact, it was just so crazy, right? She
mm-hmm.
kind of did like when she went to the reservoir and Akeisha said, well, have you talked to Gucci? Because I'm gonna have stuff and she's gonna be here. You probably can't, and that was unfortunate because if they bring her in as the Belle, she should be able to do Belle stuff. But after the no contact was broke, even that night, like she just sat. You know what I mean? She talked to Latrice. She had a relationship with her, and she was with her girls, of course. But it really gave me friends to the show. That's what I felt about Selena.
What about you, Jay?
For me, Selena did not get her full potential, and it's not because of Selena. I'm gonna blame Carlos
Mm,
because to me, he did not know who Selena was. When he saw the reaction from social media, to me, that's what made him bring her on there because you just looked at the ratings. And besides the scenes that she did with Latrice, she did the scene with Gucci by the pool and when her girls and her were looking for the dress and then the poster board thing for the 4S collection. He cut her scene short when it wasn't about drama. Like I want to get a feel of Selena, the businesswoman. Since you said you made six figures being a bartender, baby, teach me. Um, she's a bail bondsman. She has a travel agency. I want to see Selena in her business element, and to me, Carlos tainted what Selena could have become as a bail, and that's not her fault. So I blame Carlos, Carlicia, Carolyn, King for that.
Mm.
okay. I agree with that too. I feel as though we know if you ever watch Bring It, then you're aware that Selena is good TV for the most part. But I think that just like Jay said, her potential was pretty much knocked down because we were we were only focused on is she gonna be in the same room with So Gucci? Is So Gucci gonna allow her to be in the same room? They got a no contact order. Is they gonna be in the same room? Because that's all it was about. All they
Yeah,
kept doing was trying to
Mhm.
put her in the room with So Gucci. And I always, when I first heard about Selena being added to the cast, I was like, well, how is that gonna work? Because she got a no contact order. So how the
right,
hell is that gonna work? How are they gonna force that? Because
right, and they did.
yeah, because legally she can't be in a room with her. So how's that gonna work?
And I feel like I just feel when it goes to Bring It, like Diana and the girls were the star of their show. Selena was the star. She was the star of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say that's fair? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
to bring her into a show like this, where she has to be, you know what I mean? Because there could be shows where Selena didn't even have to be on Bring It. It wasn't
Right.
about the mothers. It was about the girls and Diana. So
Mm-hmm.
now Selena has to bring herself to the show. And I'm not saying she doesn't know how to do that, but if she's going to be a Belle next season, I would. There's some things I would like to see. I want to see a wedding. I want to see
Mhm.
more than one book that she's working on for 4 years. I want to see a wedding. I want to see something.
Not more than one book for 4 years.
I do. I want to see a wedding because we don't know Selena. At least I don't. I don't know Selena like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know she was a dance mom, and then now she's a Belle. You know, she was funny, she's beautiful, and all that kind of stuff. She's sweet. She seems to be so sweet. But like you said, it seemed like everything was so forced. She seemed to be a little nervous because can I go to this room? You know, and I just want to see her be a Belle. If she's gonna be a Belle, I want to see her ring. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I agree with everything both of you guys. It's so crazy how we're all agreeing. I agree with everything that y'all are saying because I do think that they didn't really give her enough leg room on this season because like I said already, it was mainly about putting her in a room with Gucci and see how that's gonna transpire. Are they gonna have some drama? Are they gonna fight again? Is she gonna be called extra again? Like, what's that about? They made it all about Gucci, just like with the last season, they made Gucci storyline pretty much all about Selena, and Selena wasn't even there. So it was kind of like, okay,
It was a trade off.
yeah, pretty much. So that's so I agree. I think we all on the same page when it comes to Selena. I think Selena has a lot of potential to be a bigger part of this show. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that this season, um, just like Mildred just said in the chat, she said Selena's first introduction was an altercation. It has to be unsettling, and I do agree with that.
Of course,
Mhm.
that
I
has to be
agree.
a film. That's not how you would want to go into anything. Because
Exactly.
everybody has said Selena has this sweet disposition. This is not like her. Even JJ said it. He's like, it's not like her to be like that. So then you see this, and now the whole time everybody's trying to get away
Hold
from
on
that.
one second, Mill. I think your mic is making a noise.
Hold on, hold on. Y'all hear me good? Is that better?
Hold on, wait a minute. Say something now.
Is that better?
I can hear you.
Okay, that's better.
Can you turn it up a little bit?
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. So yeah, I think that I think she just needs to find her way. It's just I mean, I think everything I've seen about her has been sweet. Other than, that and she did what she did. It was unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that hopefully they give her a chance. Maybe this I hope she's working on it. You know what I mean? Cuz and
Mm-hmm.
show up. Show up next
Mhm.
season. That's what I asked. Just show
Yeah,
up.
yeah, because without So Gucci being there, because that's what they were pretty much banking on. Now that she's gone, now she has to prove her worth without that.
Yep.
Because for the most part, everybody kept saying, "Well, what's going to be her storyline without So Gucci?" Well, this is her chance to prove that she can do something without So Gucci being attached.
Right.
Um.
I agree.
Okay. Akeisha.
Scotty, will you go first?
Okay, that's fine. I'll go first. Um, I will go on record and say that Akeisha has never been my favorite person on this show.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I do respect the things that she did bring. Like I do think that she showed the more philanthropy, more philanthropy. Ah,
Philip. Philip.
philanthropy on this show when it involved Jackson, because she does have roots here, not here. I'm not in Jackson no more. In roots in Jackson and stuff like that. Her family is there. It's her whole being was organic. It didn't
Yeah.
seem like it was something that she was putting on. To be honest, like I really feel like she was a real businesswoman. So everything that was about anything that was dealing with her, I think that it was real.
So what did you not? Why did you not like her? Because I agree with you, but why did you not?
What I didn't like. I know when she first came on, her personality was a tad bit off-putting to me.
Okay.
Like it came across, and I hate saying this because whenever you say something like this, then people try to take that and flip it like you feel like you're inferior to people just because you feel that way, but that's not what it is. When she first came on, she came across with a superior complex to me when she first
Mm-hmm.
came on to
Mm-hmm.
me. And that's why I really wasn't featuring her or Willie when they first came on, because they came across more so with Willie. I didn't like the southern jokes that he was making about us, because people from up north, they tend to come down. Not everybody from up north, I don't want to generalize, but
Mm-hmm.
there's some people that be coming from up north and come down to Mississippi and have generalizations about us and the way that we talk and stuff like that. So I was
Mm-hmm.
more so offended by some of the jokes that he made about us. But other than that, that was the only thing was about her, is that it came across that way, like she was superior.
Mm-hmm.
But that I don't necessarily think that that's how she really is, to be honest. But that's why I didn't really care for her when she first came on. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't really have a big issue with her now, but she's just not my favorite person.
I liked Akeisha from the beginning. I thought that the dirty plates was a jolt. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because they was just kind of seemed like they were settled. The girls were very settled and very surfaced. So when she came in with the dirty plates, that got Leticia up. You know what I'm saying? That made her work. I feel like it made her work. And and I just think that I think Akeisha is very authentic. I think she's
Mm-hmm.
a true Mississippi girl, and I think she was a good addition just to, like some people don't know if they're going to leave Mississippi. They want to leave Mississippi. They don't know what it's going to be like to leave Mississippi. And she was if I'm in Mississippi, I would look at Akeisha and be like, I can do that too. You know what I mean? I thought she was a good model for that. I like Willie. I didn't take offense to what he was saying. Well, I'll say I didn't take offense to who he was saying it to. I'll
Yeah.
say that. So I'll say that. But I can understand why you say that. But I liked them as a whole. I thought she was a good. I think all the Bells work, and I think when this season comes back, regardless how people say, I'm glad she's gone, I'm glad she's gone. I think you're gonna, if they don't do something, I think you're gonna really see it. You're gonna see the loss. You're gonna see how that feels.
Jay.
Um, I liked her, and I was surprised because usually on the show when they change cast, it happens, and I never like the new people right away. But I liked her, and I liked Gucci from their first episode. I think she's sure of herself. I like the business element that we got because it's one thing to talk about Ferris Street, and you can't buy Ferris Street with monopoly money or hopes and dreams. And she actually does have the building. She has the lot, and then she bought another building. So I got the business element from her. I thought she gave funny read. Really, to me, I feel like if you take somebody outside of their element, it is gonna be different from them. Like I've spent the majority of my life in Jackson, but I was born in Wisconsin. So
Mm-hmm.
I get when people come here, they like, and I was in Dallas. I just moved back here. And people are like, so it's just a little bit different, but I can see why people might think that. I think you have to be respectful towards people because you don't know how people might take something. But
Okay.
overall, I thought they brought a good dynamic to the show. So that's how I
Well,
feel.
I'm gonna also say this, even though she wasn't my favorite on this show, I would never say that she didn't bring anything either.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she came on the second season, I felt like her and So Gucci brought something different to the show. They brought a different dynamic to the show. So
They were
regardless of
friends. They were friends.
yeah,
That's what
yes,
you could feel it. You could feel like that's how real friends are. Like they checked on each other, even though maybe they had a moment where they didn't agree, but they were friends, and it looked different than Leticia and Marie. It just looked different because
yeah,
they're more respectable. Does that make sense? That's how I look.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like for me, like, and this is the type of person that I am when I'm looking at a show and when I'm talking about a show. Like I can sometimes separate what I think about a person or not a person, but a reality personality, because I don't know these people as people. I know
Right.
them as what they
Right.
bring on reality
Right.
TV. So sometimes I can separate, well, that ain't my favorite person, but I can also say they did bring something because it's like I said, Akeisha So Gucci did bring a different dynamic when they came on the show. So I can go on record and say that. Although Akeisha wasn't my favorite person, but the things that she brought, it was needed because
Mm-hmm.
nobody else was gonna bring that.
Mhm.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, people, like I said, people don't like it when I say that I felt that she had this superiority thing going on, but that's just my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
and she probably really
Ain't
wasn't
no
like
wrong
that
with
for real. It's just the way it comes across. I mean, when people meet me, sometimes they think that I come across as a little brash, but I'm pretty much the sweetest person you can meet. Sometimes you can come across a certain type of way when you don't know somebody. And then when you get to know them, you see, oh, well, that ain't that bad. You know what I mean? And as
Mm-hmm.
Akeisha went on the show, she wasn't that bad to me. She just wasn't my
Right.
favorite.
Yeah.
She wasn't the
I
person that
agree.
I tuned in to Bill Collect be like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what Akeisha doing. No, you know. Um, so Gucci. What's
Jay, did you say
Sophia?
how you felt about Keisha?
Who Jay?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Sophia So Gucci / Shantae.
I love Sophia So Gucci / Shantae.
Okay, I guess okay, I'm gonna go first. Sophia, just like Latrice, is from my hometown, which is Canton.
Mm-hmm.
She from there. Me and Sophia share relatives,
Oh, okay.
which is crazy. We're not related, but the relatives that we share, we're related to those relatives on different sides of those certain people's family. I'm related to them on a mom's side. They're related to Sophia on the dad's side. That's just how
Gotcha.
close it is. I went to school with her son, so I already knew her son before all of that. So it's so crazy how this shit is when you see him on TV.
Yeah.
I like Sophia for the most part, and I do think that she takes all of this in stride, for to be honest, because she knows I would drag everybody on this damn show. I don't care who it is. I would drag everybody, and she knows that, and she doesn't take it personal. I
Yeah.
do a panel called Roast Review on Bill Collective with my friends T and Josiah, and she was in the comments as we were talking about her. And I said, we finna get up in your ass, right? She come in the comment, I know, I'm here for the mess. I know, blah, blah, blah. So, I think that she takes it in stride, and I actually like her more so as a person than what I see on the show, because I didn't agree with her a lot on the show, but for the most part I do like her, and I do think that she brings a lot to the show too. I do
Mm-hmm.
think that. And
Yeah.
plus I love, because I knew, like I said, I knew her son because I went to school with him, but as far as D goes, I have a soft spot for D because I too dealt with depression as well. And when that episode came out, I personally reached out to D myself
Mm-hmm.
and talked to her and stuff like that. So and plus I've seen D many a times before I moved to Atlanta. Like I would see D out and she'll just run up to me and hug me and stuff like that. And she was like, I know you be dragging my mama, but I love you anyway, blah blah blah. So for the most part, I like Sophia, and and her and JJ brought the funny,
Mm-hmm.
because JJ is funny.
Mhm.
Regardless of when I have to drag him, he still brought that comedic relief. And JJ and even Cliff do represent those country uncles that
Yeah,
you've
back
seen
in
in
the
Mississippi.
day. They
So
do.
yeah.
They are true Mississippi men.
Yes, they are.
They
One of y'all could
Ooh,
go next. It don't
really?
matter which one.
I think JJ, I think So Gucci, Sophia, Shantae, I think I think she doesn't take herself serious. And you
Mm-hmm.
can't take yourself too serious like this. I think she's a neutral person. I don't think she doesn't have a problem with Leticia. You know, her and Latrice have their little blow ups, but she doesn't have a problem with Marie, and Tambra, not really. But for the most part, I think she doesn't take herself serious, which I absolutely love. And I agree with you. The person, she's a wonderful person. She's so sweet. But I mean, there were some things like that reunion. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why did you show up like that?
Right.
I can say that to her with no problem. But I think for the most part, I did appreciate her on the show. And like I said, people can, if you like her or you don't like her, if this show comes back and they don't have anybody else, you're going to miss her. It's going to be a piece that's missing, and you'll notice it. But I love something, Jimmy.
Jay.
I like Gucci. Like I said, I like Keisha right away. I like Gucci when what was it? They were talking about Glenn and the baby, and she was like, "If it's his baby, let him raise his own damn baby." I was like, "Okay," and she just gives good reads. I do
Mm-hmm.
feel like again, I got to take it to Carlos, Carlicia, Carolyn, Unking.
You
He
killed me
put
with the
her
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
he put her in a bad box, like how season one Marie was sort of the villain. And when he
Mm-hmm.
brought Selena on, to me it made Gucci the villain because people love Selena. But I feel like Gucci after that just never had a fair chance.
Mm-hmm.
Even at the reunion when people were mad at her, it's a reunion. Like for seasons we've seen Marie and Latrice back and forth. So if I'm at a reunion, I'm gonna read your ass down. That's just what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
I always thought she was funny. I think she's really cool. She's just good TV to me, and I do feel like whether you like her or not, she helped take that show in a different direction.
I do wish that we saw more with her in D
Mm-hmm.
versus her in Selena.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the issue that both of them had this season. They didn't show much of, well, I ain't gonna say they. Carlos and them in company did not show a lot of their real life stories. All they wanted to do was show the drama between the two of them. I just feel like we could have seen more with Selena and her man. We could have seen more with Selena and her daughters or whoever else in her life. We could have seen.
Yeah.
I was more so interested in seeing So Gucci repair her relationship with D and Michael. And I was very surprised that Michael even filmed because, we never really just seen him like that
Right.
until they showed this scene that they deleted, which I felt like, why y'all just didn't put this on? It's like so many scenes that they
Yeah.
have that was on the cutting room floor were better scenes than what they actually put on the show.
Yes,
I'm going to say this because I
yes.
listened to JJ and Willie's podcast today, and to piggyback on what you're saying, Scotty,
Uh-huh.
you're 100% correct because Willie was saying there's so much. No, he said there's so much that they didn't show, and JJ said it was. How did he say it? He said we wasted our good energy on nothing. I think that's how he said. I'm paraphrasing because he said Willie said the trip to New Orleans on the van could have been a show in itself, and because you can't think that you're on a show and you're just constantly at each other. There have to be moments, and we've seen photos with Glenn and Willie together in a great moment without the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's it's a lot they left out. Like, I love when I see men on TV in groups. I love the husbands. Like, I think Married to Medicine has the best group of husbands
I
on reality
agree.
TV. And I just like when they get together. Is like even after you listen to all the cattiness of the women, it seems like it's just comforting when they're smoking the cigars and they're playing golf. And when they were in the woods on Bell Collective, I love that scene. I wish they could have developed the men more. So after you see the women going, let's put the men up here and show how they get along or how they go at each other and how they don't have a problem. I love that, but they wouldn't do that. And
It's
Willie,
too toxic.
no, JJ said they just want to show them in the mud and the bad stuff.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think the husbands now, because it's too toxic, need to go to the background. Like I just want to see B and B, Bells in Business, because what we saw with that, no, I'm tired of the husbands. It's like they want to be a Belle.
Yeah, I think that at the beginning it would have been the best idea, but to see them cultivate a relationship. But just like Jay said, now it probably was like, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
we don't need to
saying?
see it now.
But but it could be based off of what we're seeing, because once again, like it's a lot of shit that we did not see, and I felt like we should have seen it. Like I was so mad when I was laying in my bed and I was looking at my phone and I was trying to find something to watch on YouTube, and on my homepage it was like this deleted scene from Taste where we had Akeisha
Mm-hmm.
telling JJ to include Michael and D in on a lot of stuff. I'm like, why they didn't show that?
Yeah,
Or it's or like I said, the scene at the bowling alley with Michael and D and so Gucci. I would have loved to see that scene. I want to see Michael express his feelings to his mama. I wanted to see
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like I wanted to see that. Like I feel like with reality shows, I just feel as though they think that all we want is the drama. And my thing is this:
No,
I don't mind drama. I know this. I know ultimately there's going to be drama. We need the entertainment, but we need a balance too.
and
Right.
as a woman, we like to see women having a good time. It's
Mm-hmm.
so much going on in the world, and we like to see girlfriends, just really good friends, dressing up, having a really good time, traveling. And it's like, okay, we went to New Orleans, we finally got a trip, but then it was full of mess. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I just like to see the girls having a good time. That's
Yeah.
not how me and my friends hang out. I would like to see a representation of me and my friends, and they're from Mississippi. So I was
Right.
like, it's just we don't need to see stress all the time.
Like not all the time. You feel what I'm saying? Like not all the time.
It's just one common denominator. Carlos uses that formula. He thinks that's what we want to see. Even
Yeah,
if, like you said, Scotty, even a little bit of drama, but give me like a resolution. Because I feel like at the end of that reunion, nothing got resolved.
mm-mm.
Mm-mm. And I feel like if So Gucci and Akeisha came back, it was probably gonna be worse. It was probably gonna be even
It
darker
was.
the next
Oh
season.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And I think that's what I don't want to happen to Bell Collective. I don't want it to turn into LAMH. That's what I don't want it to be.
No.
And it's like and I know I brought that show up at least twice while we up here. I hate that show, but the money is so good. But but I don't want it to be. I don't want it to turn into that, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. When I first started reviewing LAMH, it was like the second half of the second season. It was in the midst of COVID. So I think they came back in 2021. And I wanted to find something new to review, because all I had been doing was RHOA, Potomac, Love and Hip Hop. That's all I had been doing. So I wanted to add something else. And I was like, yeah, I've been seeing Bundy Blue talk about Love and Mary Trumpsville. Let me talk about that. And then people said, well, just start at the second season. Just start, because they're about to start, do that. So I said, okay. So I start. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. This is different. Whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, by the time we got to the third season, I said, this is probably the best reality show on TV, blah, blah, blah.
It was
But,
good.
but then the fourth season happened, and it's been
Downhill ever since.
ever since. So it's just like, whatever. Okay. I'm gonna throw her in here because A, she was an original Belle, and B, they just brought her on here just cause, I guess. Dr. Antoinette.
I would take this Dr. Antoinette that we've seen now
over the old one.
over the baseball diamond Antoinette. Now, if
Mm.
you're gonna bring the girl back hitting balls because you hurt because your man that left you, keep her where she is. If you're gonna bring
Yeah.
Antoinette in here, this this Antoinette right here with the let's go bodysuit. Come on, let's go. I'm ready. I'm here for it.
I agree.
I'm
I
here
agree.
for it.
What about you, Jay?
Enterprise, when she said that shit,
That was so fucking funny.
like,
That's what I'm
this
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
this Antoinette was tapped in. Like, he even did a flashback Friday that he didn't promote with Selena and Antoinette. When
Mm-hmm.
I saw Antoinette smoking Tisha like a Newport out of your grandma purse, I was like, this is what we needed season one, because for the 4 episodes she was on there, just on that, when I say she smoked Leticia, she smoked her, and she was more present just from this
Mm-hmm.
appearance. Like, because season one, I forgot about Antoinette. I really did.
It was easy to
So, you know,
it was easy to forget about her, and I liked her. I actually interviewed her when she was first on her first season. I interviewed her. She was pretty cool, and I think that she got a lot of blowback too because of the whole white friend she brought around. I think a lot of
Ooh,
people
child.
hold that against her, and I don't hold that against her at all. I personally don't hold that against her, but I know a lot of people do hold that against her.
And
But
I know the moment that they held it against her. The
I think
moment,
is it the same moment I'm thinking about?
if you're thinking about when she made that comment about Marie and ran out, and then everybody ran out to check on her.
Uh-huh.
Like, girl, you said it. You shouldn't even be here anyway.
Right, exactly. So and I know that's the moment that really made everybody feel like, well, why you bringing this Karen around and blah 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 blah. So I know a lot of people hold it against her, but I
Mm-hmm.
personally don't hold it against her. I mean, it is what it is. It happened, whatever.
Yep.
But I feel like Antoinette was really needed more this season because
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand Leticia. And I want somebody to really just give her ass the damn business. Out of everybody on this damn show, that is the one person that I just don't really rock with like that is Leticia. Like, and I can't
really,
wait till we get.
Really, like
Yes,
that,
I
like
can't
that.
wait till we get to her.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Who's next? Who's next?
Enterprise.
Enterprise. Okay. Now, Latrice is next.
Okay, I know that's your love, Scotty. So, so I understand. I understand that's your love, and I mean, because Gucci's my love, but I like Latrice,
Mm-hmm.
and all I want for Latrice is her 100% happiness.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want for Latrice. I want Latrice to be. I want her to just flat foot stand up and curse Cliff the freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit your decrepit self down and text me whatever it is you want me to know, because talking is not working for you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I want Latrice to
Mm.
just really be sure. To me, as a woman, Latrice comes off as not sure of herself. Like, she can do reads in the confessionals now. She reads like no other. But sometimes, like she said, Akeisha's good with her words, and sometimes mine don't come out right. I just really want her to focus on herself. And I think Latrice is great. I like Latrice for the most part. I just feel like sometimes, to me, she just comes off a little insecure.
Okay. I listen, I respect everybody's opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Jay. I'm gonna say mine last for obvious reasons. I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
mine last.
Okay.
I've always liked Latrice since season one. She just has like a sweetness to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think like when I got to interview her, that made me like her even more because she was just really like down to earth. And I like her accomplishments. When she says she's gonna do something, she gonna do it. You open up your hair place, you open up your restaurant, because people, one thing people do, and Belle, y'all should know this, when y'all lie about stuff, people dig and find and send stuff to people.
Mm-hmm.
So Latrice, to me, if she says she gonna do something, she gonna do it. But this season, what what I don't like, I don't want. I think Cliff should go to the background. I
Yeah.
don't like the way
Mhm.
that he makes her look on TV. Like people used to be like, your girl looks fidgety, and I didn't see it, but now I see it. Where I sort of feel like sometimes she's uncomfortable. I want less Cliff, and I didn't like the wrap up with Tisha and Latrice because we sat there last season and saw y'all get into it, and I feel like Latrice is being kind of pulled down a dark hole, and a
Mhm.
lot of people are starting to question her more like, is this a play? Are you going along with Tisha? Like, I don't want to see her in that, but overall, I do like Latrice, but certain things are questionable now.
Okay. I can respect that opinion, and I can, and I do agree with a lot of what you said. Now, let me just say, because this is one of the people that I actually know for real off this show, right?
Right.
I'm gonna say this: watching this show, I do feel like she is dimming her light. Um, Sometimes I find myself watching this show, and sometimes I wonder if it's like the fact that there's a lot of cameras around, and she doesn't want to come across a certain type of way. Because the person that I know, I've never seen her, look nervous or look antsy in person.
Right.
I've only seen it when she's on this show. So I don't know if it's one of those things where it's a camera around and she's not sure, or she doesn't want to look a certain
Hmm.
way on camera or anything like that. That's what I'm saying. Because sometimes that's why a lot of the times I do defend her a lot. Now, although there are times where I have to dig in her ass and she know it.
Hmm.
But there are times where I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, that's not the person that I know. Like
Right.
the person that I see, that I've seen over the years, is very vibrant, very sure of herself, all of those things. So it could be one of those things where cameras are there, or it also could be one of those things where Cliff is always kind of downing her sometimes when they're
I don't
on
like that.
camera too.
I don't like that at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes she don't like what I say about her husband, but I don't care.
But
But
I feel like
it's the
we talk
truth.
about what we see. I feel like whatever
Yeah.
y'all put out there on the screen, that's what we talking about.
Yeah, and that's just what it is. So, and going back to Jay's point, like for instance, last reunion, Leticia stepped in your face like she was gonna fight you, and she was tearing you down, like straight up. Just she called you an insecure bitch. She called you
Mhm.
all types of stuff. She said that you empty on the inside. You ain't got nothing. When she the last person to say somebody ain't got nothing, and all that stuff.
Jay, I cannot wait.
And then, so after all that, now you sitting on your back porch and you with her thinking that somebody else need to lead the group when she was the main one who was kind of trying to get you out the group. So that's one of the reasons why everybody questioning you. So it's one of those moments where I can't really defend it. I can't do nothing but say
Mhm.
I see what they saying.
Mhm.
But I do think that Latrice is good for the show. I do think that
Yeah,
she brings something to the show. And I think that she is one of the people that is needed on this show.
I agree with you.
So that's
Definitely.
that's what I think about it. Now, Enterprise. Y'all might want me to go last, so I'm let one of y'all go first.
Well, you go first, Jay. Because I want to sit back. I got some tips. I got some tips just for that. I'm gonna put my mic on mute and I'm gonna listen.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Jay.
Um. Okay, with Keisha, I always felt like I felt like her intentions were good with the whole Ferris Street thing, right? But people kind of called that out. Um.
Mm-hmm.
Now the whole thing with the Enterprise is out there that it's been dissolved, and now it's Pearson and Pearson. People are calling that out because they said the reunion was filmed in August. Pearson and Pearson was established in September. It's a lot of stuff that people pull her card on and are saying, Tisha, what is going on? Like, I think Tisha is cool for TV. I think she gives, pretty good reads. I do like her. But it's just the stuff that you're caught in too much, and it's always something that's questionable. So I feel like that should be resolved because a lot of this season was a lot of crying, but then at the reunion, you saying sisterhood, but then it's a whole nother story.
Mm.
So people are looking at like, are you for a sisterhood or are you lying? And that's something I think that needs to be cleared up. And it's kind of like skated over. So I want to see her address this stuff dead on. I don't want to see any more things about her and her marriage. I do want less Gwen. Like I want less Cliff. And I need to see her stand on business more and address some of this stuff. That's what I need from T. But overall, I think she's good TV. But that Bell Collective group on Facebook, they bust you down to the ground, Tisha, and you got to clear up some of this stuff because Black Twitter be putting out too much stuff on you, child. So I need you to clear up this stuff.
Shout it
That's
out.
it.
Shout it
I'm
out.
ready.
I'm telling you.
Letitia was like one of my favorite people when I first started watching this show.
She was?
Stop, let me finish. I mean, I really liked her, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then
Hmm.
my guy from Jackson was just telling me everything. So it's like when I would say something to him about Ferris Street, he'd be like, "No, she can't do that." And I'm like, "Why she can't do it?" So he took me to Ferris Street, and I see why she can't do it. So I was like, "Okay." So it's like it's just a lot of pretending for me at this point. I feel like it's just a lot of people in my comments have said they used to like how she was, but she has changed now. A lot of people feel like she's changed. I feel like she's changed a bit, but there's some things that don't add up. Um, I don't. I mean, I've Googled the Enterprise. I've Googled, I've Googled Pearson and Pearson Logistics. Uh, I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna let y'all people do good people do the work. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I like for me, I knew this. This is what messed it up with me. When she and Glendale got on the show talking about they're separate and this, that, and the other, and then you come on Instagram and you feeding each other food in the restaurant. Just lie to me. Just lie to me and don't let me see that because now your credibility is shot with me. Because I'm like, okay, this is not your real life. You are not separated from Glendale. You're not over there living at your mama house. You're not doing that. And I'm gonna just leave it like that part right there. But I'm gonna let Scotty take the rest of it. I mean, I think she has definitely changed. Um,
Hmm.
a lot of people, and I see a lot of people mention about, I think she needs a good stylist, and um, I'm gonna leave that right there. And then I think the way she was with Latrice at that reunion, standing over Latrice, calling her names, telling her what
Hmm.
she's gonna do, and then it seems like you linked up with Latrice, and I don't know why Latrice did that. And that made me look at Latrice side eye too. I'm like, she was about to take your head off while you were sitting down.
Literally.
And now you
There's
like
no way.
it's just it's not I don't know. She has changed, you know? Cause like for me, like they're just little things. Like when she was in that herb store doing with them four people doing that book signing, like I would have gone to the Hilton over there off of y'all know over there across from Tougaloo. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
I would have gone to the Hilton and asked everybody in the Hilton to stand right here in line and let me sign this book and film me before I stood in a herbal store with four people
On Ferris Street.
on Ferris. Was that on Ferris Street?
And they zoomed in because they didn't want to show the rest.
And then for people to post that you are next to an abandoned building. It's just for me. Lie to me. Lie to me. Give me the illusion that you have this going on. You understand what I'm saying? Just I don't know. I do think
Well,
she changed. I did like her, and so I didn't like her and Latrice this season after they did the reunion. So that's it for me. I'm out.
well, since you said lie to me, she's been lying to you from the beginning. Let's start off there. First things first. When it comes down to dirty plates, I think that she's the fakest person on the show. Let me start off by saying that. I think that she's the fakest person. I think that she is the agent of chaos. She's the main person that sits around and say that we're a sisterhood, we're a collective, when she ain't never been no sisterhood to nobody. She is the type of person that sits around and creates shit behind the scenes. I definitely believe that she was the one who said, let's leave Akeisha out the text group and blame it on Tambra. I really believe she did that. I believe a lot of the stuff. I really believe that she was trying to set Willie up for somebody to be in his DMs. I believe it. I believe a lot of the stuff that people were saying about Dirty Plate Enterprise. I believe every single word. I feel like she fake as hell. I think I said that more than once. She fake as hell. Everything about her is fake. I don't believe anything about her. She when I interview her, this is really where my disdain comes from because of the way she handled the interview and the way that she handled the whole situation with me. When I did an interview with her and I asked her verbatim, what is your enterprise? She could not give me an answer. She didn't want to answer the question. So if you're so much of a businesswoman and you're this person that got all these businesses and you're doing this and that and you got this big check and you sit up in your fake ass office with your Chanel purse sitting on the counter so everybody can see that you got one, then why can't you tell me what your enterprise is? As far as I know, what you do, you're a bail bondsman. That's the only thing that you do. No, that's not an enterprise. I don't know anybody that goes to your brunches to get them burnt ass waffles every time you have a brunch. I don't know nobody that does that. And even when you came on the show, I never knew who the hell you were. So it's just like, what are you talking about, Leticia? And I think that everything that she does is for show. This so-called failed marriage between her and Glenn, I really don't believe they got no real fucking issues. I think the only issue that they probably had was the baby situation, and she wasn't going nowhere anyway if the baby was his. So whatever. I don't really, just like you said, I don't believe that she was really living with her mama. I don't believe it. I believe what she did was, see, we're gonna film today. We're gonna film at my mama's house, and you're gonna come up here and pick up Josh, and we're gonna pretend like we got a problem. And every time I see her yelling and screaming at Glenn for whatever it is he doing, it's like they sat there and practice those lines like they in the Tyler Perry play. And then the wigs are a mess, and then she don't wear clothes that are flattering her. Like, I just can't with it. And even with her talking about buying that land, that piece of land that she said she was gonna buy, don't even look like no land that somebody would want to fucking buy. It look like some random piece of land that they went to go film their scene in. You know what I mean? And did Glenn really quit his job or did he get fired? I don't believe it. So, I mean, it's everything about Enterprise is
What about
fake.
what about the BBL, Scotty?
It's not BBLing in the best way
No,
at all.
was it BBL or was it lipo? What did she say? Was it
I
BBL?
think
Jay.
I think she only admitted to having like lipo, and I'm like, so are you the type of person that go and get lipo, but then don't keep up the maintenance with it? Because some people go get lipo and then they still feel like they can eat a bunch of burgers every day and not
You
gain
gotta have
weight.
maintenance.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you
I
gotta.
ain't trying to say too much because I don't want nobody to think I'm body shaming. But yeah, like everything, but she's a shame. Everything about her is a shame. So it's yeah. Dirty Place is not my favorite person at all.
Ooh, ooh, okay. Well,
And I think she's the main. culprit of everything that be happening on this show. She
It
just,
does seem like it. It comes off like that. If you really think about it, if you sit and really think about it, like Akeisha said it, anything that goes on with these girls, she did say Latrice and Leticia. I mean, Leticia's definitely in the middle of it.
yeah, I really feel like even with like the stuff with Tambra, Marie took the brunt of it, but Leticia was right there. She
Hmm.
went with Marie to meet up with that man.
Hmm.
All she had to do was say she was sorry a bunch of times and make it believable. And she was forgiven. Like that's the type of shit she do. Like she's weird.
Yeah, I get it. I get
She
it.
weird.
Well, I think you did good, Scotty. I don't think it was too bad. You did good.
That one bad.
I think you could have done worse.
But what I am gonna ask y'all, because I did say I wasn't gonna keep y'all long, because I know we all got stuff to do.
Hmm.
But as far as the future of Bell Collective,
Okay.
now that we know that Good Sophia and Akeisha are gone, and that pretty much leaves like Latrice, Leticia, Marie, Selena, and Tambra. What do you guys think they're going to? What do y'all think can happen to keep the show going? Because I know that they have had people on this show before that I felt would have been good. I don't know if y'all remember her, but last season they had this girl on there with them. Her name was April. She had like this boutique. It was a scene that was done with Latrice, Tambra, and the girl, the tall chick,
Oh, I remember
Melody.
that. I remember that we were sitting in
And
there. I remember that.
yeah, and April was shading the hell out of Leticia and her brunch. I
Hmm.
felt she sold me by that alone, and I felt like she should be on the show. But that's just me. And some people feel like the Melanie girl, the PR person, should be on the show too. But you know.
Love Mel. Love
So what
Mel.
y'all think?
Shout out to Sarah Melanie. Melanie. I think the way they talk about it, I think Selena, Tambra, and Latrice will show us a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're really, really close.
Yeah.
Um, I think Letitia's going to be messy if Selena, Tambra, and Latrice have a friendship, and
Mm.
because she can't, because that's not even her lane. Those three,
Mm-hmm.
and Marie is not gonna care either way. So she just gonna go any way the wind blows. And Marie can handle herself and her scenes. She can have her own scenes. But I think if you didn't think Letitia was a problem before, I think it will be loud this time.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Hmm. And I wouldn't mind seeing the girls have a friendship. I'm here for a friendship. I am here for it.
I
Help
agree.
do that for me.
I agree. What
Hmm.
about you, Jay?
I think they have the opportunity to steer it right. Um, but again, that's Carlosia, Carolyn, Clown, Unking. It's up to you to not take this show, like Scotty said, in the direction of Huntsville. I really want to see more business. I want to see less lies. It's okay if you have a little bit of drama, a little read. Um, because I feel like sometimes Marie is gonna step up and get an entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to see any more lies or people teaming up like to turn on this person. I don't want to see Marie and Latrice into it. Y'all done hugged it out.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
Tisha, I definitely need you to keep yourself out of the mix and have a clean season. But I feel like it can be turned around. Tambra, do we got to bring back Taisha the decorator to spice you up, sis?
Because that little
Um,
fire, she was activated.
She definitely
yes.
was.
She was activated.
And Selena, I definitely want to see more of Selena as a Belle doing business. And I, I heard, this is what I heard, that they are looking for Belle's. People have been turning it down because they don't like the direction of it. I
Who?
think
Mm-hmm.
Essie should be a Belle. She's already a friend. She already know these ladies, and they not gonna play with S with the mess, baby. White
When
diamonds and all.
I interview Essie, and I think I'm gonna reach out to her because I really want to talk back with her again. She was the one that was approached to be a Belle,
Mm.
but she was the one that pushed Marie to be a Belle because she was like, I'm just not. Because you can see the dynamic, right? And she
Mm-hmm.
said she wasn't out there like that, and she just said she just feel better being a friend of. And I understand it. I got that from her
Mm-hmm.
because Marie rings loud. You know what I'm saying? Essie wasn't gonna ring like that.
Nah.
So I don't think she wants to be a Belle, but I would love to see more of S with the mess. I would love to see more of Essie because I always feel like she's an unrung Belle. I love Essie. So yeah.
And then another thing too, she takes this shit in stride as well, like so Gucci does. Because I remember I
Mhm.
shaded the shit out of her on Twitter the first season, and she responded and laughed her ass off at something I said. I don't remember what I said, but I said something and she was laughing her ass off. Like I like people that can take it in stride and not really feel no type of way about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I agree.
Can't take this serious, because she was like, "Yeah, I was approached to be a Belle." She said, "But I'm not just out there like that. I don't." So I was the one that said, my friend Marie. I said, "Well, you definitely brought you definitely brought a Belle."
Yeah, I agree. And I figured that Jay as well. There are some. I feel like there are some people in the Jackson area that probably don't want to do that show because of all the shit that has transferred with it. Like some people they'll support it, but they probably don't want to do it.
I
You
see
know.
somebody asking about Stormy from Jackson. Stormy's not from Jackson. She's like down from Meridian area.
Yeah.
But I don't think Stormy would do Bell Collective. After she talked about how she got paid on Love and Marriage Huntsville, I don't think she'd be running to do Bell Collective.
Especially with them saying how much they make.
We ain't gonna even get into that, child, because I think we could give each other that right now.
Listen, okay, like
Whoo,
what the
child.
fuck? I was like, what the y'all doing all that for this?
Mm-mm,
Oh man, come on.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
I do have high hopes for the future though, because not only do I think that Bill Collective is one of the best shows that's out there, but Bill Collective is the three of us, our show.
That's
Because
how I feel about it. That's why I
yeah,
love it so much. I love
yeah,
it
yeah,
because
we're from
it
Mississippi.
resonates. I know people just like those women.
Hmm.
I know them. So yeah, it's that's why we love it so much.
Yeah, and we really wanted to really go into another level. And the thing is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I saw Stormy on Tamron Hall, I'm like, I just thought about something. Carlos's people don't get to be on shows like Tamron Hall or the Sherry Shepherd show or the Jennifer. Like they don't do that.
No,
We are the ones that they got. They don't really have nowhere to go.
they really don't because it seems like you have to be a part away from it before you can really do something.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Um, they don't do anything. They do lives.
That's all they can do. Like
That's it. I'm
they
not,
don't
and
do
y'all, and my humor is dry sometimes, but y'all know I ain't lying.
no, you're not. That's why it's so funny to me. Like, no, like I feel like they don't like because like I said, when I saw Stormy on there, I'm just like, so why isn't the other people, you know, like why no one from these casts are able to be on like network television do interviews like that? Because we see housewives doing interviews like
They
that.
got Bravo Con.
Yeah, we see
They got
all that.
Christmas parties. They all on they own podcasts. They own various podcasts talking.
Yes.
If it's not us reaching out to talk to them, they don't get that. And I'm talking about all of them.
Can I also say this? This is one of the reasons why I felt a way about Enterprise, because I felt as though being that, and honestly, I'm not even being funny now. I'm being dead ass when I say this. I
Okay.
feel like because they're on Bell Collective, They're on their own network. They're under Kingdom Reign. They don't get many opportunities to be seen as is. So if a person that is out of Mississippi that is a blogger, and at that time, I may have had maybe 30,000 subs at the time, maybe. I'm out of Mississippi and I had just interviewed Candy at the time. So my thing is, if I'm doing that and I'm reaching out to you for an interview because I want you to be seen and I really want, and I know my platform is not that huge like that, but I
What's your
want,
big deal?
well, thank you. But I want you to, I love the show. You from Mississippi just like me.
Yeah.
Why not treat us with respect? You know what I'm saying? Like, like I had to tell her, like,
We're not
treat me
considered.
the same way you
We're not
treat.
considered, Scotty. We're not.
That's the truth. Now
We're
that you
not
said that.
considered because you know if you say you're from Mississippi, they group you. People say, "Oh, you know the girls on Belle Collective." I know some of them, but that is not who I am. You know,
Yeah.
so we're not considered all the time.
Yeah. And I was just like, I had to, because it was a whole thing with that. Like, I just felt like she completely disregarded me with that whole interview. Like, even the way that it happened, even when she did it, it's just the way that it happened. It was like a bad experience.
Wait a
You
minute,
know what
who
I
is
mean?
that, Candy?
No, not Candy. I'm talking about Leticia. No,
Oh,
Candy was great. Like, Candy was punctual. She was probably like 5 minutes late, and she even let us know, had her team reach out to us and let us know that she was gonna be late. Leticia couldn't even do that. Leticia was 30 to 45 minutes late for that
you
fucking
talking about
interview.
Leticia Pearson?
Yes, Leticia Pearson. She was like 30 minutes late for the interview, and she acted like she didn't want to be there.
Girl, Nobody else talks to you but us.
We're the only ones.
And then I talked to her. She won't even come on my platform. She's like, Millie, what am I going to talk about? I said, what you talking about? What you going to talk about? We're going to talk about the show. Well, you talk, and I think sometimes people, I don't know. I don't know. You don't be scared of me because don't be
But I
scared
feel
of me.
like this. What do you mean? What you gonna talk about? Talk about the same shit you talk about when you on Carlos King's platform. Talk about the same shit you talk about when you on DJ Richie Sky platform, the bigger platforms. Talk about the same shit that you do over
Yeah,
there.
because I'm a
What?
big deal. I'm a big deal.
Okay.
So, like, because look, I had touched some of my connections, and I was like, "Do y'all want to go to the White House for a tour?" I had them set up, Akeisha and Gucci, but JJ's mother passed,
Mm-hmm.
so they couldn't do it. I would have been happy to do that for them. Carlos ain't never reached out to do that. Never reached out. He never. They don't do anything. They don't do anything.
Right. They don't get the exposure that they really need to really push their show. So I really do feel like with us being, especially, and I'm just gonna say especially the three of us, because we're all from Mississippi. I feel
Yeah.
like that should be a thing where, if anything, if we reach out to you to talk to you or want you to do
Yeah.
do the show, you should. I ain't saying you gotta say yes, but if you're gonna say yes, then just respect it the same way you respect everybody else. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I
my whole thing,
think
go on.
like Mississippi people to me, we sort of have like an unspoken thing where we support each other and we genuinely like show love to each other. And to me, like if she just didn't want to do what you really trying, she just should have been like, I don't want to do it.
Right.
Like
And
I
it's
reached out to like
fun. Okay.
Akeisha, Gucci, Latrice, D, even Caitlin. And I was like, hey, I want to interview you. I want to clear this up or, address it. They were like, cool, fine. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people sort of think maybe you kind of got the big head a little bit because you own this show.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to do it, just say, I can respect a no versus like you just, brushing me off. So,
Yeah.
Mm.
That's how I feel too. Cause like, or you could just say that you're not doing interviews right now. I mean,
hmm
that's the best way to do it to me. Cause like I said, like, so Gucci, when I interviewed her first season, she was great. She was on time. She
Mm-hmm.
did what she was supposed to do. Same thing with Latrice. Same thing with Antoinette. Same thing with anybody else that I've talked to. I
Yeah.
mean, I interviewed Miss Wanda. Even she was on time and was grateful for the damn interview. I mean, And Kiki as well. Although her internet was messing up, she still
Yeah,
tried.
yeah.
You
Kiki
know.
will be on time. Yeah, she would. Oh my
Like,
God.
come on now. But I just wanted to end it off by saying that I really want Belle Collective to really get its just due because it is a good show.
Mhm.
And I just think that Carlos really needs to push it and really make it seen
Yeah.
all over the world. That's
I
just what
think
I think.
he needs to really pay attention to it. He needs to go down there and he needs to really get to know those girls. He really does. He needs to get to know them and see it. Just be in Mississippi for a week and be on the set. Like when things happen, he's not even on the set.
He's not.
Because it baffles me when he has people on his platform and it was like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. Like,
Hmm.
sir, like, okay, if I had a business, can you imagine being a boss and not knowing the people that work for you? Could you imagine not knowing them? And then we have to, I mean, it's not COVID. So I'm going to get on a plane and come down here and meet my new people. He doesn't consider them like that.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, but it is what it
Yeah.
is, though. But hopefully things get better. That's all I can hope. I know they supposed to start filming Bill Collective. I think from what I heard, they were saying they were supposed to start in February or March or something like that, maybe.
Okay.
I think they already got that other show in production already. The one that's on all year round,
Oh,
LAMH.
yeah. Oh, let me
So
ask you this. Are you going to watch Leticia on Carlos? Because they've just gone off. So are you going to watch that tonight?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to hear what lies she gonna tell, child. I don't know.
Wait, I like though when you mix Enterprise. Did you mix Enterprise and Dirty Plates?
Yes,
Was
I
that
said
it?
Dirty Play Enterprise. Yes, I did. You know what? Let me go. Let me end this because I said I'm 30 minutes over. But
This,
that means
this
that
is
we
amazing.
had a good time. That's all
Yes.
that really means. You know what I mean? I really appreciate you guys doing this with me for real, for real. Like I said before, when I realized that all of us are from Mississippi, I'm like, well, why not do a Mississippi
Yeah.
collaboration? We don't really see a lot of
I think this is
Mississippi
awesome.
content creator. Hopefully, we could do this again soon on something
Yeah.
else. It don't really have to be just about Bill Collective. It could be about other shit. So hopefully, we could do this another time.
Yeah, this was awesome.
It was. I
Yeah,
appreciate
I
you
enjoyed it.
guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was
I appreciate you guys. Like I said, hopefully we do it again. I appreciate everybody that tuned in, and we are out of here, you guys. Until the next one.
good.
Bye,
Bye,
y'all.
y'all.